This is the 2026 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. What do you get for a sticker price of $35,445? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Holmes Honda for today's video in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more, check out the link in the description of the video. This is platinum white as far as the exterior goes, and it has a black interior. When you look at the front end here, you're going to have full LED lighting. That's going to include your LED headlights, low and high beams, your LED daytime running lights. You can see the LED turn signal indicator is on over there on the front end on the left-hand side, or on your right, driver's left, your right. And we'll have some combination of finishes right here. This upper grille area with that Honda logo right in the center is going to be a gloss black finish. That seems to work because down here, if you're going to have a matte finish, it's better to have it on this lower area. So you're going to have the lower grille with the matte black finish. We're going to have our active air curtains that are going to be located on the outside area of each side of the front end. And as far as your safety features go, there's quite a few actually. Honda sensing is standard across the board on all Accords. That includes adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, and traffic jam assist. Now, one thing that you won't find on the Accord is all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive is standard across the board, just like Honda Sensing. We're going to have our 19-inch wheels and have a couple of different finishes with the combination here between the silver and the gloss black. And then we'll work our way up to the side view mirrors. Now, only a couple of things missing here. Number one, we do not have power folding side view mirrors. They're manually folding, but they do fold. They're not going to have the turn signal indicators built in, not heated actually, but they are power adjustable. And if my cameraman comes around here to this side, he can show you that you also have your blind spot monitoring built in. So there's another one of those great safety features that I know a lot of you are looking for. Here is your remote. You've got lock, unlock, remote start. You can pop the trunk open. It's not power, but it does pop open, and there is your panic button if you need that. We'll also have the conventional size sunroof up here. Tell me down in the comments section, how essential is it in your car buying to have conventional size or a panoramic sunroof? As far as the surround on our windows, you can see that we have gloss across the top. It comes down to this area back here with the rear window, but then we have a matte finish. Everywhere else, that's a good balance. I don't think too much gloss black. It seems to work really well. Too much probably wouldn't work in this particular case. Now, here's something you're gonna have. I'm gonna let you see what's going on right here. It is a 12.8 gallon gas tank. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to drive, estimated about 590 miles in the city, about 525 miles out on the highway. And you may wonder, why is that number on the highway lower? That's because you're gonna be using the gas motor when you're out on the highway at those higher speeds, a little more RPM. That's why that number drops. Still a very good number. Now you'll also notice that we have the black trim around the rear area right here. Going to kind of set things off a little bit. I like that. And not only there, but also with our gloss black finish on the spoiler. We're going to have the LED tail lights, and you will also find your Accord badge right here. The Honda logo, which is pretty small back in this area, but there it is. And then our Hybrid Sport logo. Now, let me show you what I was talking about earlier. There are a couple of different ways you can open the trunk. There's a button on the trunk itself, a button on the interior, or this button on the remote. And as I said, when you hold that button down, it just pops it right open like that. It's almost like an automatic power trunk, but it does open that way. And to maximize your cargo space, we've got the release right here. There's also one on the other side. I'm going to let my cameraman use that real quick just to make sure that we can get everything down here. And there we go. Everything came down at one time, so that actually helped me out. So you've got 16.7 cubic feet of cargo space. One thing to note about that is the fact that whether you go hybrid or non-hybrid with your powertrain with the Accord, you're going to have that same amount of cargo space, but there is one difference between the two. Now, there is a remedy for this, but it is the fact that you do not have a spare tire with the Accord Hybrid. You can buy a spare tire kit to go back here and have a spare tire, but I really wish that that was just a standard feature, and if you wanted to, you could actually option it out instead of having to option it in. Motivation to get this Accord down the road comes from a combination of a naturally aspirated direct injection 2-liter 4-cylinder and dual electric motors. Combined, you're looking at 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of a torque. It is mated to an eCVT. 0 to 60 is about 6.5 seconds. Top speed is a governed 115 miles per hour. Now we'll come over here to the window sticker and give you some more details on MPGs. Here's what we're going to have. Now these are estimated, but what you could do is 46 city, 41 highway, 44 combined, and 2.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Now, I want you to note one thing. It says 2026 right here. I know somebody is going to tell me this is not a 2026 because they watched an AI video that said that the Accord was going to be fully redesigned for 2026. I hate to disappoint you, but that is not true. We may see a mid-cycle refresh in 2027. Let's talk about what your backseat passengers are going to find. At 6 feet tall, you probably want to sit in the front seat. I'm 5'10", and you can see I'm sitting straight up, and I'm almost able to touch in fact, I can touch the roof line with my head right there. Front seat's gonna have more passenger space and more adjustability with the seats. You can also see this seat is back really far. You know what? There is a lot of leg space back here, especially if these seats are moved up, so that's a good thing. Now, let's talk about the door panel. We'll look over there on the driver's side. I do like the fact that you have a comfortable armrest here. However, I would love to see that area be completely flat instead of having that angle at the front, as you see, but that's just the way it's designed. We're gonna have the door panel down below, or I should say the door bin. That's gonna be more of a bottle holder than a door bin, and the singular seat pocket on the back of the seat here on the passenger side. However, one thing that I know is high marks on your list, or a high mark to check off, is what we have here. Number one, we're going to have the air conditioning vents. Number two, 2 USB ports. I would give an extra thumbs up and a Scooby snack to see 3 because you have seating for 3 people back here. And last but not least, when you don't have 3 people, if you need to take advantage of it, at least your rear seat passengers, there is the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. All right, here we are in the main area of attraction for at least a lot of you, the driver's seat, the front seat area. Now, you have a power adjustable driver's seat with lumbar support. The passenger seat is manually adjustable. Both are going to be heated. You can see the button right down here for each seat. Here's the driver's seat, 3 stages. Over here, the 3 stages for the passenger seat. We'll work our way up. If you need to take advantage of the dimming ability of the rear view mirror, you just flip that lever down like that and you're good to go, or you can flip it back up. Sunglass holder will be right up here. I've got my sunglasses sitting in there. Don't want to hit the camera with that. And right here is the control for opening your power sunroof. That is available if you want to do that. You have the manual shade that's going to be up there that you can open up. Now, over here we have something that is nothing out of the ordinary. All vehicles pretty much come with this, a glove box. And you can see that bag right there is where the wheel lock key is. So this model has wheel locks on it. And a little bit more space, longer armrest, and a larger door bin on these front doors. Nothing out of the ordinary where that is concerned, but that's what we're going to have. Now, you won't find seat memory here on this trim level as far as on the driver's side. Definitely not going to be on the passenger side either, but here's where you adjust your side view mirrors. There, you slide it to the left or to the right, or just leave it in the middle if you don't need to do anything at all. You can also lock the windows, lock and unlock your doors, and you have one touch down, one touch up for your front windows, and you'll have to hold that button down for your rear windows. Right here on the steering wheel itself is or I should say the steering column, is the release to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You're going to have your sport pedals down there in the driver's footwell, and then everything for adaptive cruise control over here on the right-hand side. And then you can adjust what you're listening to and voice commands here, and even go through some details on the driver's display. Depending on what you need to see and what you need to know about, you can see that you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless capabilities for pairing your smartphone, Bluetooth, whatever you need. You can come in here, you can change what source you're using to listen to whatever it is. You can customize your display if you want to a little bit. Not too much we can do here, but a little bit just to show you what's going on. You can hide or show all of these different things. as far as what's available, and then we hit the back button right there, or should I say the back option. I'm just pushing on the scroll wheel right there to do that. And a nice modern look with the driver's display. When you turn the headlights on, it will illuminate on the likeness of your Accord right there in the center. The brake lights work. When you go into drive, it gets down into what I consider the ready, set, go position. And last but not least, when you use this lever right here, the turn signals actually come on that Accord there on the screen as well. You can also control your headlights right here and leave that on auto if you want to. Makes things so much easier. You'll use this lever to control your windshield wipers and your windshield washer fluid. Nice, comfortable steering wheel. All of that's going to be here. Now, the 12.3-inch touchscreen, you still have the power flow meter right here. That's going to help you out quite a bit. If you want to see what's going on where that's concerned, you can leave that on the screen. That's going to be helpful. You can go in and pair your phone. If you need to do something with that, here's where you're going to come and let you go to your device list or connect a new phone. And we're going to have Alexa right there, as you can see. Vehicle settings right here. Now on this screen, there's quite a bit you can go through depending on what you want to do. You can change the view if you would like to. This is what we can do, so it simplifies the view a little bit. Some people might like that a little bit more. Now you'll notice that that color on the screen, let me go back here, let's get out of that. The color of the Accord on the screen does not match the exterior color of what we're sitting in. So if you want to use a different color on the on-screen likeness of your Accord, well, guess what? You can use platinum white right there. You can use every available color depending on what you like. You just might like something that's a little bit different, as you can see. Now, based on a comment that somebody left one time in one of my videos, this is only changing the exterior color on the screen itself, not on the vehicle itself. Yes, somebody did actually ask about that one time because they thought that's what I was saying. And that person probably has a driver's license and is maybe driving with some of you out there on the road. Be careful. Here is our general settings screen. You can see what's here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. But if you can't find it on the vehicle settings screen, it's likely going to be here. And then you can come in and go into a few more settings depending on what you need to do with all of that. Now I'm going to go into reverse. One thing I hope we see in the future with the Accord is more camera views. This is the only camera view you're going to have, is the multi-view rear view camera. There are 3 different views here, but I'd love to have a front view camera, side view camera, all of that to be here at some point in the future. We'll see what happens. And we'll work our way down. We're going to have a little bit of gloss trim around the air conditioning vents. As you can see, we've got our dual zone climate control right here, and you can sync everything together if you want to, or you can unsync both sides depending on what your passengers want, or your passenger wants here in the front seat area at least. We're going to have a couple of USB ports right here, a wireless charging pad. That's going to be nice to take advantage of that. And here's your shifter, the conventional style shifter. A lot of people don't like the push button. That's something you won't have to worry about with the Accord. And our drive mode selector is right here. Now we're going to go back up to the center screen to see exactly what our drive modes are. And here's what we're going to have. Now you will start with normal. We're going to have econ. We work our way back up. There is your sport mode. You also have individual mode. Depending on what you want to do, you can configure everything and customize right there. So here's what happens. You're going to have different options with each aspect of the vehicle. Depending on what you want to do, you can leave it that way. And what's going to happen is when you go into individual mode, it will come back to however you previously configured things, depending on your setup. Now, we can also come down here. You can go right here and push the E button. That'll go into EV mode. Let me show you that on the driver's display for those who might say, oh, that's not what that is. I'm going to push the button. There it is. It says EV. I've actually had people say, oh, the Accord doesn't have an EV mode. That's not true, as you can see. Yes, that's how trolls talk on the internet. It's what their voices sound like. Here's your power parking brake, brake hold mode. If you want to take advantage of that, come to a complete stop. The brakes do not disengage until you touch the gas pedal again. Cup holders will be right here. Now you are going to see a lot of gloss black in this area, so have your microfiber cloth nearby. So if you need to wipe that down, you can. Now there's a couple of nice things to talk about with the center console. Number one, the lid can be used as an armrest. As you can see, my arm is on there. Plenty of room. and then we open that up. You might say, I sure would like to have a 12-volt power outlet. Guess what? It's right down here. This is your 12-volt power outlet. If you need to take advantage of that, you can, and there's a reasonable amount of space within that console itself. Okay, here we go on our test drive with the Accord. Definitely a fun car to drive. It has a very sporty feel to it and very solid handling. Now, for those of you that are looking for all-wheel drive, obviously that's the one thing you're not going to find here that I know some people want. But for those of you that are good with front-wheel drive, it's definitely going to do you just fine. Not a big deal. The ride quality is good. Now, you might have noticed, I didn't talk about this earlier in the video, you do have the cloth interior here. So for some people, that's going to work. I've had people tell me that cloth interior is outdated. It's so funny to read some of the comments that I receive here on YouTube, but everybody has their opinion, so if you feel that way, well, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. While these are the cloth seats, they do have a nice sporty design to them that fit the trim level that we're driving today. And it's nice and easy to see out of. You have all of those great safety features that are going to help you out when you're driving down the road to stay nice and safe and know what's going on around you. And when you're out on the highway and you're running those higher speeds, here's the thing that's going to be beneficial where that is concerned. You're still going to find yourself with some very solid MPGs, even at those higher speeds. So the Accord Hybrid will definitely do you well if you're looking to save some gas money, help yourself out where that's concerned. And something that I like here that I can say about Honda across the board is the technology is not hard to learn or use. So for those of you that maybe this is new to you, it might look a little intimidating. It's not. It's some of the easiest technology in the industry to learn, in my personal opinion. You don't have a bunch of sub-menus you have to go through. Different things like that are going to be here that are going to make it a lot easier to deal with. You can even have your icons up here on the screen depending on what you need. So a couple of different views you can go with depending on your situation. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive at what is actually a pretty reasonable price in this day and age. And there it is, the 2026 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. And that's what you get for a sticker price of $35,445, at least the real high points. I know I could go into a lot more detail, but we don't want to make this a ridiculously long video, so that's where we're going to stop. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning us this Accord so we can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful and we appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.